You finally hit that six-figure milestone and you think you've made it. But wait, something feels off. Your bank account looks healthy, but your lifestyle hasn't changed much and you're still stressing over bills. The truth is that $100K salary you're so proud of doesn't stretch as far as it used to, thanks to inflation. It's like running on a treadmill that keeps speeding up, and you're working harder just to stay in place. Welcome to the new reality where your income is silently being devalued, and you don't even notice it. This isn't just about numbers. It's about how the system is designed to keep you chasing a moving target. Picture this: you're in your late 20s or early 30s, finally earning what your parents called a fortune. You imagine owning a home, driving a nice car, and taking vacations without checking your balance twice. But when you look at housing prices, rent, and everyday expenses, that dream starts to fade quickly. Your $100K feels more like a comfortable middle-class income, not the wealth you anticipated. You're not alone. Millions of Americans are in the same boat, wondering where their money went. The problem is, the economic landscape has shifted, and your salary hasn't kept up with the times. Inflation is the silent thief that robs your purchasing power without you realizing it until it's too late. Over the past few decades, the cost of living has skyrocketed, but wages have barely budged. That $100K today buys you what $50K did back in the early 2000s, and that's a hard pill to swallow. Essentials like healthcare, education, and housing have outpaced income growth, leaving you with less. You're paying more for everything, from groceries to gas, and your salary just can't keep up. This isn't a conspiracy theory, it's basic economics, but the way it's hidden from you is the real shocker. Let's do a quick comparison. In 2000, a $50K salary could buy a decent home in many suburbs. Fast forward to today, and that same home costs over $300K, while your $100K barely covers the mortgage. Groceries that cost $100 back then now set you back $200. And that's if you're shopping smart. Your car, insurance, and even your morning coffee have all doubled in price, eating into your paycheck. The numbers don't lie, but they're often presented in a way that makes you feel like you're imagining things. This gap between perception and reality is where the dark psychology comes in, manipulating your mindset. One secret the wealthy don't want you to know is how taxes and hidden fees chip away at your income. You see that $100K gross, but after federal, state, and Social Security taxes, you're left with much less. Then come the deductions for health insurance, retirement, and other benefits, shrinking it further. Suddenly, your take-home pay is around $70K, and that's before you pay for rent, food, or anything else. And if you live in a high-cost area like New York or San Francisco, that $70K feels like $40K. The system is structured to make you feel rich on paper, but in reality, you're just getting by. Here's where the dark psychology kicks in. Society glamorizes the six-figure salary as the ultimate goal. You're bombarded with images of success, from influencers to friends, all flaunting their lavish lifestyles. But what you don't see is the debt, the stress, and the sacrifices behind that curated facade. This constant comparison keeps you spending more to keep up, trapping you in a cycle of consumption. The more you earn, the more you spend, and the less you save, because you're always chasing an illusion. Your $100K isn't just being devalued by inflation, it's being drained by a culture that profits from your insecurity. The credit industry plays a huge role in this illusion, convincing you that you deserve nice things now. They offer you loans, credit cards, and payment plans that make high-end purchases feel affordable today. But the interest piles up, and soon you're paying for last year's dinner with this year's salary. This debt trap is designed to keep you working, because if you're free, you're not spending. Meanwhile, banks and corporations profit off your desire to maintain a lifestyle that's slowly slipping away. They know your $100K isn't enough, so they offer you a bridge, but that bridge leads to more debt. Another hidden layer is how companies have shifted costs onto you, the employee, over the years. Pensions have disappeared, replaced by 401ks where the investment risk falls entirely on your shoulders. Healthcare costs have been pushed to you through higher premiums and deductibles, eating your raise. Even work-from-home trends have made you pay for office space, electricity, and internet out of pocket. Your employer celebrates giving you a 3% raise, but inflation is at 4%, so you're actually losing ground. They frame it as generosity, but the math shows you're subsidizing their business model with your life. So how do you break free from this cycle where your 100K feels like chump change? The first step is to stop playing the comparison game and define what success means for you personally. You have to realize that the Joneses are broke, and their lifestyle is built on a house of cards. Then you need to track every dollar because what gets measured gets managed, and ignorance is expensive. Look at your subscriptions, your takeout habits, and your impulse buys. They add up to thousands yearly. This isn't about deprivation, it's about redirecting your money toward things that actually build wealth. Here's the real secret the rich use. They don't rely on salary alone. They make their money work for them. While you're trading time for dollars, they're trading dollars for assets that appreciate over time. Real estate, stocks, and businesses grow even when inflation hits, protecting their purchasing power. Your 100K sitting in a bank account loses value daily, but invested wisely, it can outpace inflation. The wealthy understand that cash is trash during inflationary times, so they convert it into hard assets. This shift in mindset, from earner to investor, is what separates the struggling from the secure. You also need to look at your largest expenses, housing and transportation, and find creative solutions. Maybe that means renting out a room, living in a cheaper area, or driving a used car for a few years. These sacrifices feel hard now, but they're temporary steps to build a foundation that lasts. The goal is to lower your overhead so you can save aggressively and invest in things that grow. Once your investments generate enough to cover your bills, you've escaped the paycheck-to-paycheck trap. That's when your 100K salary becomes a tool for freedom, not just a treadmill keeping you tired. Ultimately, this inflation reality check is a wake-up call to stop trusting the system to take care of you. The government prints money, devaluing yours, while corporations raise prices, profiting from the chaos. You're caught in the middle, but you have more power than you think if you understand the game. By recognizing that your 100K is the new 50K, you can adjust your expectations and your strategy. It's about playing offense with your finances, not just defense, and building a life that's truly rich. The dark psychology only wins if you stay asleep. So wake up, take control, and make your money work for you. Click subscribe if you want financial growth, not just entertainment, because wealth starts with the way you think.